Western Park as an area is very interesting. A lot of the houses are very different. There's not too many that are the same. Welcome to Western Park. Western Park, the estate, so named after the park not too far from here, one of Leicester's biggest and oldest parks, which was opened in 1899 after being gifted to the city from the Leicester Corporation. What we're going to do today is have a look around Western Park, have a look at all the streets, see which ones have got the best houses on, have a talk about the house pricing, why they sell so well, why the area is so popular, because for me, it's probably pound for pound the most popular area to live in the whole of the LE3 postcode. Now don't get me wrong, there are other parts of the LE3 postcode which are very popular, up in Glenfield and Leicester Forest East, but in terms of location to the city and how much the houses are compared to how old they are and how big they are, it is quite expensive to live on certain streets in Western Park, and that's the weird thing. Some streets are way more expensive than others, and like I say, some are that little bit cheaper. So why is that? Where do you get value for money? Which are the best streets to live on in terms of house value? We're going to look at everything, and there's some cracking houses around here to look at as well. We're starting on Gimson Road. These semi-detached houses on Gimson are absolutely stunning. We've also got a row of slightly smaller houses here, but still a very, very good size. And then the opposite side of the road you see behind me here, and these are more traditional semi-detached houses and bungalows built a little bit later than those ones that I've just shown you. Gimson Road was named after Ernest Gimson, a Leicester-based architect who was very big in the arts and craft style of housing. And I've seen quite a few of those as I've sold houses around Western Park. There's some here on Gimson Road, but there's other ones tucked back into the estate as well. Western Park as an area is very interesting when you are an estate agent, because a lot of the houses are very different. There's not too many that are the same. There's a few on Clarefield and Winfield and some of those streets that are a little bit more similar to each other, and you can see that they've been built in rows or in blocks. But as you get further up towards sort of Meadway, Westfield Road, there's lots of one-offs, and they are absolutely cracking. And few would argue against me that the best road, or certainly the most well-known road within Western Park, is Letchworth Road, especially that bit that leads from sort of Winfield right up the top to the top of Glenfield Road. Letchworth Road actually continues across Glenfield Road then onto the other side of Glenfield Road, and you've got Hilders Road and a couple of other roads off there as well, which again are very, very nice. But what we're focusing on today is the bit between Hinckley Road and Glenfield Road and Gimson Road, where I am now. The golden triangle of Western Park, if you will. So our intro's done, Gimson Road is done. It's a very, very good looking street. It's really quiet down here. You only really come on Gimson if you live down here, and it is so wide. I reckon it's one of the widest streets in the city for like just a normal residential street. Look at it. It's massive. Gimson Road does actually carry on down there to Glenfield Road, but those houses there are a little bit newer. There are some of the traditional older ones on this side of the road though. Right, let's head into Western Park itself and take a look around there. Now, road number one is Clarefield Road. As you'll see, Clarefield is made up mainly of semi-detached housing. There is the odd detached property down here, but in the main, they are semi-detached homes. There are actually some 4 beds on Clarefield, right down that bottom end on the right-hand side there. And there's some that get converted. You've got a little loft conversion going on there. But in the main, they're going to be original 3-bedroom semi-detached houses on relatively decent plots. If you look at those ones there, very, very traditional housing. So Clarefield and its neighbour Winfield, which we'll have a look at in a moment, do sell well because they are a little bit cheaper than some of the other streets as we make our way further down towards the church around Western Park. So you're still getting that Western Park postcode, you're getting that character property, you're getting the good amenities that people are looking for around here, but you just pay that little bit less. Clarefield is a little bit of a curveball because it's got these built right on the end of it. I'm not sure what was there before. I'm sure someone will be able to tell me. Got this side and that side as well. Right, let's head to Winfield Road. I've definitely done this the hard way because these streets get hillier the further you go. I've started at the shallowest one. I should have started at the highest one, really. Thankfully, doing houses around Western Park means I shouldn't really be repeating myself too much because lots of the houses are very, very different. As you can see, some great detached ones here on Winfield. With the one there, look, I like that house, that's a nice one. And then you've got traditional semi-detached houses as well. The bottom end of Winfield does feel quite like Clarefield, sort of mainly pairs of semis like this, mainly 3-bed, possibly the odd 4-bed one as well. And this, like most of the streets along here, empties out to Hinckley Road that way, and then it pops out at Letchworth just at the top, and then Nevantham Road round the corner. They're not on the biggest plots in the world, but they're still pretty satisfactory. and most do have scope to extend out the back. Some a little bit on the side, but probably not massively. But loft conversions are fairly straightforward around here. I love walking around because you just see these odd curveballs that you don't see when you're driving around here. I must have spent hours and hours and hours on these roads dealing with houses, but like, I'm looking at something now thinking, never seen that before. Nice pair of dormer bungalows there. Good looking houses. This here has always fascinated me. I think it's a really cool looking building. Right at the end of Winfield, just as it hits Hinkley Road. And then this one here, I sold that one a few years ago. Needed a bit of work doing to it. Very unusual layout. Did have a room in the attic as well, which was a little bit like this. What I'm not really going to do in this video is go through pricing, because they're all so different. Ballpark, 3-bed semis in this spot, depending on what road, probably start at 280 if something needs a bit doing to it. But 3-beds could still finish at like 400 plus semis. Again, it's so road dependent around here. It is very, very unusual. When you're selling houses around here, you need to use an agent that has sold around here before and knows what they're talking about with individual roads. There's 3 or 4 agents that would specialise in this location, really. Am I one of them? Don't know, maybe. I've sold a lot of houses around here and done a couple near the church, which I'll show you in a few minutes when we get down there. Eastfield Road, a very good example of why pricing these streets just, oh, it's one of them on that street, is not easy. I've sold houses on Eastfield Road for 70 grand up to about 400 and something. Now granted, the 70 granders are flats in Eastfield Court at the bottom, but they're still 70 grand and they're still on Eastfield Road. Eastfield, and to be fair, a few of the streets around here can get a little bit busy around school time, because Duvlin's is right at the bottom of Eastfield onto Hinkley Road, and then you've got the petrol station bang opposite there as well. So that's the bottom end of Eastfield there. She's got some housing. Well, that's Eastfield Court, where the flats are really, really cheap. And you've got that block of flats, which I've got to be honest, I've never been in before. But then look what next door is. An absolutely mammoth detached. Like, that is a good looking house, isn't it? And the one next door to it as well, really good quality. And then behind me again, look, back to like 19, 20, 30s, 3-bed semis. So yeah, it's an unusual street is Eastfield. I'm gonna say that a lot, by the way, over the next sort of few minutes while you're watching this video, because there isn't really any standard. I mean, look at this one here. Look at that. That's wicked, isn't it? Like, how much is that gonna be? Like 500 plus? Gotta be in it. But then 70 grand flat, right down the bottom. There's a new build that's gone in here. I can't remember what was there before. Again, really good looking. And then a newer bungalow just here, which I'll show you in a second. Got dental surgery just there. Yeah, what a mix Eastfield is. We've not even done half of it yet. So that's an A number there. So that must have gone into the garden of maybe something around there, I'm guessing, which is why that new build's there as well. And then we come up Eastfield, across Letchworth, and onto Eastfield again. Now up here is one of my favourite spots in Western Park, I think. I could live here, I could get me some of this. So this is the cul-de-sac part of Eastfield Road where I am now. It's still a mixture of semi-detached homes like those ones there, detached ones just here, detached just here, bungalows into the corner. Nice one there, having loads of work done. You've got the access to Westfield's tennis club there on Eastfield Road. Why? Don't know. Just a nice spot. Those bungalows there, look. And then look at these down here. Like, you've got that nice detached house there, and you've got 4 semi-detached homes set right back. 2 there and 2 down there. Randomly, they are on some of the biggest plots in Western Park. The gardens are massive. And as you can see, they're well set back off the road. So you've got off-road parking for about 10 cars as well. They don't come up very often. I'm going back, got to be 10 years nearly since I dealt with the one there. Lovely family, great house. So I think we're about done on Eastfield. So let's go over to the next road, which is Westfield, isn't it? No, it's not. It's not, believe it or not. We've got another 2 roads in between. So you've got Eastfield, 2 more, then Westfield, church, and work round there. This is a bigger video than I thought. This might need to be a 2-parter. So stay tuned. If you don't already, follow me or subscribe now so you see the next part come up. It'll be good, because I think we'll be going then up like West Hill, Meadway, and up round there. Some great houses. And what I'll also do is I'll cover Letchworth Road in that, because it's frigging massive. We're getting hillier. Meadhurst Road next. All housing down Meadhurst. No industrial, no commercial, no petrol stations, no schools, no nothing, but just great looking houses. Love that one. Love all of these down here. And then you've also got actually some newer ones, or a newer one actually in there, if you can see it. What you find, there's not many of them, but there's the couple that have got like what I call garden grabs. So the gardens that came back from the road next door sometimes then get sold off at a later date, and then they have these properties built on them. I'm not saying they're super new, but they're not like 1900 to 1930, which is when most of Western Park was built. Oh, these are some great houses. Look at these. Like, who wouldn't want to live in that? That's a semi as well. It's friggin' massive. That's a lovely looking house there. That's a beautiful house there. You can see why people want to live down here, can't you? They're lovely. And we're starting to get into big boy territory now. Some of them are very, very big. Check out these ones here that are over 3 floors. Yeah, look at them. Absolute beasts of houses. So there's 4 of them. And look, they go back a long way as well. So 2 pairs of semi-detached houses, both over 3 floors, or all 4 of them, I should say. My semi-Western Park educated mind says to me that this is where different builders started kicking in and building individual plots or pairs. Someone just giving me a wave that watches my videos. I love it when that happens. Here we go, look, more semi-detached homes. But again, if you see, some slightly different. They've had alterations as time's gone on. You've got those ones there, but then those ones there are a little bit different. They're a little bit different. So those sort of different builders maybe, people buying plots, build one to live in, build next door to sell. I can only imagine that's what's gone on down here, and it happens more as you go down Western Park as well. Now, I've only gone across Letchworth when I've gone from street to street at the moment. Let's have a change. So we'll just leave Meadhurst now. Like I say, great looking street, some really good quality architectural houses. Yeah, I like Meadhurst. I feel like it's quite unassuming, like it just goes about its business, Meadhurst Road, and does really well and just acts really nice, but not many people shout about it. However, it does look like this one's empty. If you're selling that house, give me a shout. So we'll make our way round now to Sunnycroft along Hinkley Road. So you get the odd house on this side of Hinkley Road, but most of the houses are on that side there. Still part of Western Park. Don't command quite the same price as if they were literally over there in the streets off Letchworth Road itself, because there's no getting away from it. Hinkley Road is quite busy, and not everyone wants to live on that sort of road, but literally just turn off and look. Hardly anyone about. Sunnycroft Road, everybody. Big detached one on the corner. Then look at the size of them beasts. Big, huge semi-detached homes. No parking. Oh, that one looks like it's got a garage, but in the main, no parking. You don't see these anywhere else in Leicester that I know of as well. They're quite unusual dormer-type bungalows. They're very big. They can be a little bit tricky to sell because, like I say, they are just a little bit odd compared to anything else around here. But the location's good. The road is good. Got a couple of newish build ones up here, which I'll show you now. So I think those ones were subject to the sort of garden grabs from the next road along, Westfield Road. If you can see, look, those are all newer type houses. None of those are part of the original Western Park estate. So just to recap, Sunnycroft in the main, we've got semi-detached old houses there. These detached dormer bungalow style ones, which I've just talked about. Then you've got a couple of semis at the top, and then the new builds as well. So yeah, nice quiet street, Sunnycroft. Not that many houses on here really for how long it is. Give you a little Letchworth Road taster, shall I? There we go. There's Letchworth Road. See, like that one behind me there, that's another A number. Never seen that before in my life, but I just have never noticed it. Well, that brings me to the last street that I'm going to do in this part, which is Westfield Road. Big old street, Westfield Road, probably the second longest one I think in Western Park after Letchworth, because it goes right the way through from Hinkley Road to Glenfield Road. The only one that does, might I add. All the others cut off at Letchworth that come off of this bit. Western Park Boulevard goes into a cul-de-sac. So Westfield Road, as you enter it from Hinkley Road, is all semi-detached housing on that side of the street, right the way up here. In fact, all the way up to the church. These are pretty good value because they're on relatively small plots for Western Park, but the houses are quite big. I've sold 1 or 2 of these down the years. One had some lovely oak flooring in it. It was beautiful. But yeah, they're big houses, but with relatively small gardens. And there's no parking with these ones. You do need to be aware of that. Other side of the street down there is quite similar, except there is a couple of detached ones down that bottom end there, one of which is having stacks and stacks of work done at the minute, and it's going to be absolutely amazing when it's done. And then off there is the turning for Meadhurst Road. And then on this side, up towards the church again, we've got some of those really nice detached ones that you've seen on some of the other streets as well. I was talking about estate agents to use in and around this area, and Alex there is definitely one of them. He knows this area very well. We could probably have a quiz show, me and him, a little Western Park quiz. Who knows Western Park the best? I reckon he might just pip me at the moment, but I'd give him a good run for his money, that's for sure. So as we approach the part where Westfield crosses over Letchworth, got some more detached ones here. That's a good looking house, as is that one there. Both of those are wicked. That house there technically is on Letchworth. And then we're into the heart of Western Park, the centre of Western Park, St Anne's Church, a fantastic looking building, which is a real focal point for the community around here as well. And I'll touch more on the church and Tin Annie, as I'm sure a lot of people still call it, next door, the church hall, which has been upgraded quite significantly. My daughter had a birthday party there, absolutely loved it. Just popped in to see a friend of mine who bought a house from me just on the corner there. Nice house next to the church. So Westfield Road, this top end, a lot of it follows on in terms of parking restrictions. There's not loads of off-road parking, certainly not at this end close to the church, but then as we get further up we get some driveways as well. And this top end of Westfield is where some of the real sort of one-offs start to kick in. And we've got Meadway that runs off here as well, which is a really nice street, but again, that will come in part 2. Now I won't show you every individual house down here, but if you have a look, just so different, all of them. I mean, that's really nice there, called Rutland House. That one as well. And as you'll see behind me, a lot more detached property up to the top of Westfield Road. And I'll talk to you about that one in a sec. Unfortunately, that suffered the wrath of a cannabis factory. And as you can see, it got burnt to a crisp. Right, I'm just at the top of Westfield, so I've done the full length of Westfield now. Showed you a load of the houses. And this is really where the prices do start picking up quite a lot. Now, Westfield Road actually, come to think of it, runs down there as well. So it goes over Glenfield Road, right down, and picks up Lindfield Road at the bottom. So yeah, it is a very long street, definitely the second longest after Letchworth. But yeah, some of these ones on Westfield, we're talking 500 grand plus now, for sure, on some of these. Just got another hello there from someone. Especially ones like that. So ones that are really individual, unique, good, cracking, character looking properties. They're the ones that really start to get the money. And then you'll see on part 2 on some of the streets further across, once we get past the church, we start to get lots of very, very individual looking houses which would have been built on single plots. Some of them have got massive gardens and they're just very good looking properties. Letchworth Road, Meadway, West Hill Road, yeah, some absolute corkers. Just before we wrap up, I love that house. I think it's so cool, so unusual. And whilst we've got the main church, St Anne's just there, we've also got the tiny Shiloh Pentecostal church here, which I think is very popular because I see these vans going around absolutely everywhere. Look at that, just tucked in between 2 houses. Done. Western Park, part 1, in the bag. We'll carry on with part 2. So as I've already mentioned, if you don't already follow me or subscribe, do that now. And then you'll see part 2 come, hopefully, over the next couple of weeks or so. Over and out.